Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
And I am Commander Cockings and Stuart. We are here before you all to look at, dissect, analyse, theorise about steak. Right?
No.
I got the wrong memo. Okay, what are we doing today then?
We're talking about the STO version of the Hoover class that we see in Star Trek Discovery, but STO-ified, which is always better. Just saying.
It does have that habit. And this is one of those slightly more odd ships in Discovery, but one that had a lot less screen time. It was just kind of there, and really, Eaglemoss was the first time you actually really got to see it up close. And it's definitely a bit odd. But yes, this is the STO-ified one, both in their familiar design aesthetic, and yet they do their own thing as well. So have you seen this one before? And what do you think?
I haven't seen it, and
I think it was actually pretty new when we got it, actually. We got renders.
I was going to make a joke at the beginning of, we just did the review of Half a Life, the TNG episode. This is half a ship, just because of for the first few I have of it here. But anyway, I think it's an okay looking ship, but I think there's a lot missing from it that just would make it feel a little bit better.
Yeah, we love Federation ships. It's a beautiful aesthetic that is so malleable and flexible. And I think, what's amazing about these artists is that they made this. Like, it's both the same, different. The random details feel mostly integrated, and yet there's little bits of inspiration. That's very impressive, the fact they can do that, and you should never take it for granted. Like, whose idea was it to have that black detail on the Edison registry bit, and then have the grills, whatever you know what I mean? Like, it's not just a kit bash. It's not just stuff thrown together. It feels more integrated than that, given how weird it is.
Yeah, the grills actually stand out quite a bit and look quite interesting. Now I'm getting a sense that the ship isn't a very large ship, based on the window scaling, but I'm sure we'll get into scale in a second here.
Well, you said that, but look at the escape pods. They look tiny.
True, but looking at the windows on like the bridge or the BC deck there,
yeah, those
I don't know.
Those escape pods aren't right, are they?
I don't think so. Unless they got really big windows on this ship, which could be a possibility.
Or really small escape pods. But let's go to the second view, which is another perspective of it. That I like. I'll say that. I think it's quite cool. Although it looks to me like the Sona ship, Lara Raffles ship, the top bits, just if you had more of a pointed end bits. That's quite a good view. I think that looks pretty nice.
Hey, it looks like the front of a Federation version of the Millennium Falcon. But yeah, this is an interesting view. I do like that back part. I wish it had more of a different attachment points for the nacelles, though. They look really kind of not right with the way they're situated. I wish they were more streaming off of the primary hull there.
Would it have been better if they were integrated nacelles to kind of fit with the design better?
That would be very interesting, and it's very easy to do with this one. Just slide them up a little bit into the saucer. You could definitely do some radical things there,
and not like the McGee, which stayed right in the middle, but kind of more like Defiant-esque, kind of on the pushing that line, yet still being very much in the green line. But let's talk about scale though. I think this one is certainly confusing. So we'll go to the top view, and no, it's pretty big.
Wow. Yeah, almost the size of the saucer, the DA. Wow.
Yes, the scale I got, because it's a warship, the Edison Warship, designed by Hedda Ortiz, modelled by Tobias Richter, and is 379 meters long. So it's big, yeah. Although I think they were forced to make it the same size as the Discovery version, which, as we know, or in the same ilk, because obviously they're sort of limited by that, is it? Because it's an alternate skin for it, etc., etc. Yeah, it feels too big.
It absolutely feels too big.
Yeah, and certainly the escape pods are too small for that, which we already said, but certainly are. And in fact, even the bridge feels weirdly sized. I mean, obviously it could be any size bridge, who's a judge, but it doesn't quite seem in proportion for that scaling.
Well, let's go to the side view, because the side view always changes the way we feel about scale, and right away, that feels better to me. It's more in line with Voyager, which is not a big ship, really. I think it feels a bit, and I didn't know there was a secondary hull there, which is quite interesting. So
it's a weird side view. You never predicted the side view from the top view, would you?
Yeah, the side view feels a bit better for me scale-wise, because I thought it was more in line with Voyager size when I first saw it, and I mean it is. I mean, just from the top with the way it takes up a lot of real estate from the top as far as the size of the Galaxy class saucer. Almost not quite as big, but
Yes, it's Voyager length with Galaxy size in comparison. You know, saucer bloomage. You know, that's what it goes for. But let's go to full orthos to kind of give you a full front and back view. See if you remember the Hoover class from or the Hoover from Discovery, you do sort of know where it's going. This is kind of how it all comes together. And the top view is the back, the bottom view is the front, because the front has this blue, appears to be a blue glowing deflected crystal thing, and a single back impulse engine, which is tiny. That's not enough. You need more than one for a ship this size, especially.
yeah, and this one doesn't have them in the struts by the looks of it either.
It feels like they should absolutely be at the edge, well, where the Millennium Falcon tips are. Like, that obviously should be where the impulse engines are.
I don't like it.
It's sad because the top view has so many, like, oh, this is interesting. And every other view, like, okay.
Yeah, the front and back views just don't work for me. The side view even is kind of...
You're going off it?
Yep.
Well,
very much.
Bottom front, back to a nicer view, fair to say, because all the Starfleetness comes back in.
I like that, actually. That's very unique. And that deflector crystal ray thingy they got in the front there seems like an advancement from what we've seen, the inset deflector arrays usually. This is a neat little piece. I like that.
It's even got those inner ribs like on our other Discovery future ships, I think the Baran. So obviously they're having their own universal style. It doesn't really link to the tech of the time, but again, STO has everything under the sun, so who's to say? But I definitely don't see that as an evolution from Nemesis era on anything. Like it's just not even. It's not Starfleet. I mean, it doesn't need to be Starfleet design, but that feels too out of the box for me personally. There's a sort of lack of logic there. Visually, it's interesting, but it goes to be sort of generic sci-fi rather than grounded Trek.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed from the side as well is the very thin nacelles. Much thinner than I expected from the first view, obviously.
Sleek! Super sleek.
And the pylons have the detailing very similar to the Sovereign class, kind of like those cutouts. And there's like phaser arrays everywhere on this thing.
I'm guessing an impulse crystal, but maybe not. I don't know.
Well, there's one on the top for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe it's just glowing detail. Although we did say there are impulse engines in the struts. They're just angled, because of the next view you can see them, but on the back view you can't see them.
Oh, that's what those are. Those cutouts. Gotcha.
Which is odd that you should need line of sight at the back, but okay.
Well, oddly enough, that bottom piece looks like it could be an NX era ship. Just detach it, put on the older style nacelles. You know, even the shape without the saucer looks very NX-y. Looks like the Delta, the Warp Delta.
Yes, absolutely, but sleek. And if you get a picture 4, the bottom, because now you're looking at the back, that looks just like a roll bar, a Miranda class roll bar. So there are familiar things. But I do think this is one of those ships where they were limited by the Discovery aesthetic with a fundamentally flawed design. And so there's only so much they can do, whereas other ones that are more, the Baran looked amazing. They had a really strong toolbox to use from. But if you've got you can only go so far with what you've been given. This seems to have somewhat...
Take the exact same ship, just turn that top part with the Falcon tips facing forward, the Millennium Falcon style thing. I think it'd be a cooler looking ship, honestly. But that being said, it's all right.
But the next view is it flying away from camera. And see, this is the view that it's safe. This view works. It feels like a Federation classic, Miranda-esque, sort of simpler, sleeker, nice shapes. This looks good and effective. I think every other view it kind of falls apart. But this one is solid.
Yeah, some of the 3/4 views don't look too bad, honestly. Especially going away from you. Or the underside, when it's like coming towards you, that looks fine.
And that is the last picture. But that one, it feels too much like they've just shoved stuff together. Like the two shapes, like they're not connected. It's a big, like I say, Millennium Falcon combined with a pointy thing that's kind of slapped one on the other. Which, to be fair, may be what they've done, but it doesn't feel connected or integrated or neat.
You could model build this. Just get the Warp Delta and a Millennium Falcon model and glue them together and make a few changes. I don't know how I feel about this one. Where's the shuttle bay, by the way?
I mean, does it need one?
I guess not. I mean, every other Federation ship has them.
Does the Oberth have one?
That's a good question.
Although this is classed as a warship, they say, not like get a
But
warship.
for the size of it, you'd think they'd have to have one.
Yeah. Also, where's the torpedo launchers? If it's a warship, I mean, phaser's fine, but that's pretty standard. Where's the...
That's a very good question, and I can't see where they would be.
Even the STO ships normally have, like, very visible, like, oh, look, here's the weapon hard points. Like, even that back view, picture 4, the roll bar thing, there's no, like, red glows or details that would really suggest a torpedo set. And nothing on the forward. I have no idea where it'd come from that last view. There's no space it could be. What's going on, Stuart? It's a warship without weapons. Is the Doug Drexler?
Well, I mean, there are a lot, like I said earlier, there's lots of phaser strips. So they're everywhere. They're on the struts, they're on the back, they're on the bottom, the top. Like, there's phaser strips everywhere. It's got good phaser coverage. But no photon torpedo. I know, but we've complained before that some of them just have one strip all around. This one has, like, multiple ones, and they're evenly nicely placed. But yeah, no visible photon torpedo launchers. So
I'm sure there are some.
weird.
There has to be. Like, the game, it does fire torpedoes, but point out where they are, guys. Point out where they are. And guys, let us know if you have got this ship. We look at all these STO ships, and we're going to be honest. Some are real hits. Some are potentially don't quite. Or as we often say, maybe just needs a little bit of tweaking. Just a little bit of tweaking. But if you've got the ship, let us know. If you like the ship, let us know. If you prefer this or the Discovery version, let us know in the comments. And if it's the first time seeing it, give us your first reactions.
That's right. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, do all those things, hit the notification bell icon. If you want to help out the channel, you can do so by joining us on Patreon, Patreon/Trekyards, or joining the channel. There's a join button beside the subscribe button, which is a great way to help us on a monthly basis as well. Or you can join us for our live discussions, which we have every week, either live reviews or just discussions in general. And super chatting is a great way to get your voice heard, be part of the community, and actually, interact with us in real time. So lots of ways to help us out, and we'd really appreciate it.
But the free way, of course, is just to make sure you are subscribed and make sure you click like. All the likes. Because, likes are free. So you could go back to lots of videos, just click like. You could, as we say on our lives, like spike. Go back, every video that you see on the right-hand side that's suggested, just like it. Click on it, like it. There you go. Would be lovely. Doesn't make a difference.
And share it. Show that you like it by sharing it. It's another way to get us out there to people that might not know about us. We'd really appreciate that. So, yeah. So until next time, he's Commander Cockings.
He's got a Foley.
See ya.
Guys.